Hello, how are you? Hope you're all doing well. I'm also doing well. I'm by the names of ACHIENG JOLLY, a proud caregiver in Saudi Arabia. A very proud one, committed to work as a proud caregiver in Saudi Arabia. So, my dearest, I'm here once again to say thanks a lot. I'm appreciating you all that subscribed on my YouTube channel, to all that are supporting me. You guys, you're the best. And before I continue with our positive words of today, I want to thank God for the gift of life on me, my family, you, my subscribers, and your families. To all the people in this world, I really thank God that we are still alive, and we are alive not because we are worthy, no, it's because of His grace. So we should value the gift of life. Um, I'm here once again. I'm here once again. Very happy. I'm very happy because I came to realize that happiness is a choice. Do you know that, guys? Happiness is a choice, not a result. Because you cannot work and get billions and billions amount to be happy. No. Happiness is a choice. You don't want to wake up and you say, what? Jolly, I have to be happy. In whatever situation I'm in, I have to be happy. I'm not going to be happy after achieving all my things I want. No. Start being happy. If you know that you're not happy, my dear, start being happy. No one is going to show you happiness. Nobody. It's not going to come from nowhere. You as a person, you're the one to choose to be happy, because it's going to come from you. Hope we are together. So, my dearest, today we are going to talk of one thing, but this one thing it is one in two. It is discipline. But discipline and self-discipline, they are different, because you may be that person with discipline. Whenever someone comes and tells you, you know what, Jolly, you're supposed to do this and this, you're supposed to go this and this earlier so that you reach your goals. But if you don't have self-discipline, you as Jolly, my dear, they are going to tell you those words. You're going to hear those words, but you're not going to put them in practice because you're lacking self-discipline in you. But once you're dressed up with self-discipline, you're going to listen to those advice and you're going to put them in practice. Because remember, self-discipline is your responsibility to change your life, to achieve everything that you need in your life. Self-discipline is to conquer your physical and mental being, so that you conquer everything in this world. So, my dear, discipline and self-discipline is everything. Our leaders that you see, they have discipline and self-discipline. Every successful person, winners you see, the champions you see, they have discipline and self-discipline. Because the winners, they have their trainers that trains them to win. When they train them, they listen and they go back and they put all those words that they listened, all the training, into practice, because they have self-discipline in them. They are dressed up with self-discipline. I want to remind you, my sister, my brother, do you know that self-discipline is in you? You cannot go to the mall to purchase for it. No, you as a person, you're the one to choose and say, I have discipline and self-discipline. You're the one to choose it. Remember, a person with self-discipline, this is a person who is going to respect everyone but will not fear people. You're going to respect but you're not going to fear, because fearing is another word and respect is another word. For example, me, I'm in Saudi Arabia. I don't fear my boss, but I respect my boss. When my boss comes and tells me, Jolly, do this and this, and I'm not the one to do that thing, I'll tell my boss, no, This is not my duty. I know my duty. In a low tone voice, I'll not shout at her because I'm dressed up with self-discipline. I'm going to answer her the right thing. I'm not going to fear her because I have to do it because she's going to pay me. No, because I know what I signed in the contract. If I'm supposed to work on one client, why should I work on two clients or three clients? I'll tell her, no, boss, you know what? I'm not supposed to work on more than one client because my contract tells me one client. With a loud voice. And another thing, if you are a house manager and your boss comes and tells you, you know what, you're going to clean this house and you clean even for my mama and you clean even for my friend, my dear, when you're dressed up with self-discipline, you're going to reply your voice with a low tone. You're going to tell your boss, mama, you know what, my contract tells me to work in one house. I'm not supposed to work in more than one house. It's because you're dressed up with self-discipline. You're not going to fear her. You're going to reply her with respect. My dear, self-respect. This is the time where you realize that you have to reply some people with a no where a no is needed, with a yes where a yes is needed. Because you're not going to be with that fear. You're not going to be with that doubt of anything. You're going to know what is right and what is wrong because you have self-discipline. You've dressed up with self-discipline. Remember, self-discipline is even in the marriage. If you only have discipline, your aunties and your parents and your uncles have sat you down and they have told you in marriage they do this and this. My daughter, my son, do this and this. Respect your hubby, respect your wife. My dear, if you're not dressed up with self-discipline, still you're going to listen to those words and leave them there with your parents. You're not going to carry them and go with them because you're lacking self-discipline. And my dear, self-discipline is not bought anywhere. You as a person, you're the one to choose it. You're the one to put it on. And you say, you know what, Jolly, I'm dressing up self-discipline. I'm going to listen to my elders. I'm going to respect their words. Where a no is needed, I'll tell them, no mom, no dad, no uncle. And where a yes is needed, I'll support them with a yes. So, my dear, if you know that you're lacking self-discipline, it's not too late to dress it up to yourself. You can start practicing it. When you're dressed up with self-discipline, you're going to remove all the negativity. You're going to be that person who is going to be with respect to everyone. You're going to be that person who is going to adopt people's lifestyle. For example, here in Saudi Arabia, we dress up, we veil our hair. If the men's are around us, we have to veil our head. So because we have that self-discipline and we know what this country wants, we are going to do exactly what they want. Because veiling my head will not cost me anything. But there are things that I will not accept. If in case they tell me, Jolly, you have to do this because you're in our country, and I also say, no, this thing is not needed. This thing is abomination. I'll tell them no. I'll give them a big no. My dear, self-discipline and discipline is needed in your business. For you to succeed in your business, you have to know how to handle your customer. And handling your customer will begin with you dressed up with self-discipline. Because if you're lacking self-discipline, how are you going to respect your customers? How are you going to handle them? That means you will not handle them in a good way, and you end up losing customers. My dear, self-discipline is everything in this world. Those people that you're seeing are successful, they have discipline and self-discipline. They have discipline on their money. They have self-discipline of how to save their money. They are not going to spend their money in partying. No, They know the value of money and they have respect and discipline to that money. They are going to put it where it is supposed to be. They are going to invest it where it's supposed to be. So my sister, my brother, it's not too late for you to choose self-discipline. Self-discipline, when you're self-disciplined, you're that person who is going to take a risk because you fear nothing, because you know fearing can take you backwards. But when you take a risk, you're going to conquer, you're going to win. So, my dear, if you know that you're not yet dressed up with self-discipline and you only have discipline of listening to your elders and you leave those words there to your elders, it's not too late to dress up with self-discipline. It's not too late, my sister, my brother, because you're going to win. Self-discipline and discipline is everything in this world if you want to be successful. How are you going to be successful when you don't have self-discipline? Tell me how. Because when you are going to be successful, you have to be with discipline of handling your success. But when you don't have discipline and self-discipline of handling your success, that means you're going to get as they go. You get as they go. Will you be doing that until which age? And my dear, don't think that you're going to wait for someone to bring you self-discipline. Don't think that there's someone who is going to work for you. Self-discipline is that time when you're going to be committed to work on something, and that something will come your way because you have self-discipline. Self-discipline, my dear, I don't know, even because self-discipline has a lot of things. It has a lot of victory. Gwe kitunuuliremuko nga gwe oyina self-discipline and then oyina ne discipline, nga bwe bakugamba ebigambo ebyo bye bakugambye by'olaba nti ebyo ebigambo wallahi bigenda kunkolera, n'oyimukawo nabyo n'ogamba kangende mbikole mu kikolwa, kangende ntandika obipracticingako. Muganda wange sooka okitunulemu olabe engeri gy'ogenda okuwangulamu. Mukadde wo n'akugamba mwana wange omanyi munnaayo okutya mukulu wo kiba kirungi nnyo, omanyi nti ogenda muvinga ne mu nsi endala ng'owa abantu ekitiibwa. Togenda batya nti because they can do something on you, but you're going to respect them. You're going to see how you're going to be communicating to them with a lot voice tongue. Togenda kubawoganira kubanga oyambadde self-discipline. Ogenda kubanga omuntu alina essanyu, ogenda kuba weeyagala kubanga oyambadde self-discipline. So muganda wange, if you don't have self-discipline and you only have discipline, sweetheart, darling, dress up yourself with self-discipline because it's going to cost you nothing. Even though you're beautiful, nogenda mu bufumbo muganda wange nga toyina self-discipline, muganda wange togenda abeerayo onyumirwe, ojja ending up nga bikulemye. You can practice it. Osobola okitandika okikolako oba okiraakinga. Do not think that if you're beautiful, you're going to go and settle in someone's house, in your hubby's house, nga you don't have self-discipline. Nga you're going to disrespect him. No, my dear, no. Fearing and respecting is different. Respect someone but don't fear someone. Tell someone that this you're doing is not right and this what you're doing is right. Kubanga oyina that self-respect. Subscribe on my YouTube channel. Many positive words, many positive vibes are coming on this platform. Love you all. Mwah.